And we're live. It's on.
Wah! Way! Hello, everyone!
Hey,
So
good
glad
evening
that you're
and
Hello.
good
here!
morning and good morning
Hello!
and good evening and good day and whatever time it is at
Yeah,
your place.
right now here in Sweden it's 10 in the evening, so it's quite dark because it's winter time, so it's really dark here. So we try to light up as best as possible, and we're sorry if it looks a little bit dark in here. It's because we have no sunlight right now. But we try to find a time where it works well for both you over on the American continent, but also for all Australians, because we have quite some Australians as well. So maybe some of you joined us. And of course, this stream is backer only. So if I did all the settings right, this stream will be not viewable unless you are a backer. Okay.
So every one of you who is watching the stream right now, it means you're a backer. So thank you for joining us.
Yes. We wanted to start by telling you about who we are and then give you a full report of how far we've gotten with the game so far. And then we will have a reveal that we talk about the voice acting. And also in the end we will have a part where we can answer your questions. But if you have any questions earlier than that, please just drop them in the chat, and Joachim will be checking it and kind of arranging time for or preparing time for each question. So we will have time for answering your questions, because that's why this stream is that's why we did this stream from the beginning. So I'm gonna start by telling you who I am, and then I'm gonna leave over to Joachim to talk about who he is, and then Marcus. So I'm Natalia Batista. I'm the creator of Amaltea. I am also so I'm in this project. I'm both doing all the scripting and the artwork. So I'm a manga artist. I do comics and manga full time. I used to be a teacher as well, where I taught comics and how to do visual narration and storytelling in comics. But at this point, I actually quit my job last year, and now I'm full-time comic artist. And of course, not only comic artist, now I'm a game designer as well. So that's pretty cool. Didn't see that coming, but it's really cool that we had this project. So yeah, that's what I am. And I am also part of a studio here in Sweden called Nosebleed Studio. So we have some of our works in bookstores and in libraries. If you're from Sweden, you probably find our stuff in libraries. And if you're not in Sweden, my work is also published in America, in Germany, in Italy, and Czech Republic so far. So, Joachim, do you want to tell us about you?
Yeah, well, my name is Joachim, as you could tell. I'm a part of the game studio Senpai Media Group, who partnered up with Natalia to do this game. It's really fun to see that Natalia's product has become so popular, and it's so well liked. So we thought, hey, why not make a game out of it? So it's really interesting to be a part of this project, actually. I haven't been programming that much beforehand, actually. So it's a learning experience for me as well. So it's really interesting and really fun to see how this project, advances. And hopefully I'll also learn a thing or two along the way. So I'm in charge of the mostly the audio part of the game, and I'm also in charge of making some minor, programming stuff in the game. So if you're one of the lucky few who wanted to become a voice part of the game, yeah, it's going through me. Looking
And
forward
you
to
also
work with
do
you.
all the paperwork.
Yeah, all the administrative stuff, all the paper pushing. That's me.
Yeah. And kind of music is kind of your thing, so that's why we trust you with if something sounds good or not. That's totally you have veto in all the sound stuff.
Well, yeah, I used to work as a DJ as well, so it's my thing. Nice to meet you, everyone, and let's get along.
Yes. Marcus, please.
Yeah. So Marcus, as mentioned, also part of the Senpai Media Group. Me and Joachim have been in games together a while now. Our second project together, but it will be the first one that gets completed together.
Yeah.
We have some game, like, we made some games and they're in the pipeline, and but now
we felt that this project was more exciting, so we put the other one on hold so we can focus.
So we're looking forward to what else you're gonna drop in the coming year or years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And before that, yeah.
Can't you tell us a little bit about your previous work? Because that was, like you said, this is the first time you're making a game from the beginning, because there's a special story to this previous game you did.
Yeah, so we made the Senpai Media Group. We used to work together under a different brand before. And we have a game called Celestial Crossing was our first title under that previous brand, which is quite a few years old now. So been making visual novels since.
Yeah, when did we release it? It was back in 2015, 16 maybe.
Yeah. I think it came out around a year or something. But it was in production for a while. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Yeah. Can't you tell us, or do you want to tell us a little bit about how you came to be making visual novels from the beginning, like how you started with Celestial Crossing?
Basically it was just through like game dev and game jam Twitter community, I came in this guy called RenPyTom on Twitter. He's the original creator of the RenPy engine, which is the engine that we're.
Wow.
And I mean, there's quite a lot of, like, the visual novel community today is very, very big, and I think that's a good thing, because it just means that a lot of people. But back then it was quite small, so everyone kind of talked to everyone, and then I just found this weird little engine and thought, oh, this is weird, what can you do with this? And then got in contact with a writer who wanted to write something crossing.
Yeah, so that's how it all started, right?
Exactly.
Sorry, a little bit technical issue. Marcus, I think there's some issue with your microphone. Could you check if your microphone is kind of removing noise in the background too much, because it's kind of cutting.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, it's much better now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. So yeah, so that was the previous game you did. So this is kind of the first time you're doing a game from the start, like from the actual seed to a final product.
I mean, we did Celestial Crossing from start to finish together also, but this will be me and Joachim, the first that we do together from start to finish.
Yeah. Nice.
So as we mentioned earlier, we did some projects together beforehand, but those are, as I said, still, we put them on hold in order to focus on this one right now. So hopefully there will be more from Senpai Media Group in the future.
I bet there will. Sounds really good that you have some plans already. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So, should we maybe do a little bit report about what's been happening the past month since the Kickstarter? I can start with telling you about my end of this production. So what I've been doing is, first of all, what I take care of in this game production is not only art and scripting, but also script, not scripting, but script, different things. So I write the actual story, and then these lovely guys do all the technical stuff that I don't understand. Sorry. But yeah, so I'm an artist, and that's why I focus on that part, and a writer. So
We leave the script. We leave the scripting to you.
yeah, exactly. That's I write the scripts. So,
Mm.
but otherwise, except for that, I also deal with the whole Kickstarter because that's been kind of my expertise in this. So what you've noticed, everybody, if you are one of the backers who decided to back the project and get the manga books, you actually got your manga books. Most of you, I think I have one book left because I was waiting for an address, but I think most of the rest of you have received your manga books. If you haven't, please send me a message through Kickstarter and we'll fix that. And I also have, of course, started since this project is like legal wise, it's a collaboration between my company, my private company, my sole proprietorship, and Senpai Media Group. So that means we have a contract, and I take care of the budget for the project. So what I've been doing is I've been signing contracts with like different external groups that we have had to have be in contact with, and one of them we will be releasing information during this live stream. It's about the voice acting, so that will be dropped soon. But before that, we're gonna talk to you about what we've been doing. So that was that was pretty much what I did all fall. It was writing contracts, signing deals, paying people, making sure that they get paid so we get our stuff in time. And also, of course, sending you the books, which was a lot of work. But I've also had time to do some art and to do scripts. So far, we have all except one chapter is written. And that chapter is Palifax chapter. Palifax chapter is a little bit different because we're not planning on having human voice actors in that one. And it's gonna be an issue maybe for those of you who prefer listening to someone when you read, but I really wanted to have that chapter with horse sounds instead. So yeah, the whole Palifax chapter will be with horse sounds because of course it's about horses. So why should it be human voices?
Yeah. No horsing around with that chapter.
Yes. So
are we gonna hire professional horse voice actors?
I mean, we have to ask our casting studio. They might have a really good horse laying around somewhere. I mean, yeah, no,
probably.
We also have we also get like find different like royalty-free sounds. So I think we can find some horse sounds that's gonna be suitable. But if any of you backers might have a horse friend and you would like to have that one's voice recorded, maybe we could do a good collaboration. I mean, it would be funny if it was a horse we knew, because then we could kind of credit the horse in the credits, for example. This is really funny.
Make sure to have a lot of cloth around the horse so the what do you call it?
Yes. The problem, a lot of straw. Like put it next to the straw bale, so it's a good echo. That's a good so that's important for we're gonna have that chapter separate. So the chapter for Palifax is not written yet, but all the other chapters are done, and they are actually already translated into Spanish, right?
I think the 7th chapter isn't done yet, but all of the other ones have already been completely to Spanish.
Nice. So yeah, we have secured the Mexican Spanish language version, and like I wrote in the latest update, because of our translation studio kind of dropping us, and they didn't reply to our messages, and then when they did, it was a big mess. So the languages we promised, we can't promise anymore because the deal they gave us was not, it kind of fell through. So we really want you to contact us. You can actually write in the chat if you have any suggestions of any of those languages that we promised in the campaign that we cannot deliver right now. So that is, except for we can deliver English, Swedish, and Spanish, Mexican Spanish. Those 3 are secured. But any other we can't deliver right now. So if you have any suggestions and you really would like it in a special language, either drop us information here in the chat or just write to me on Kickstarter and we can see what we can do. And
I mean, you could also use the chat to. I didn't say it properly earlier, but now I will take the time to do it. So I will be monitoring the chat during this live stream, and if you have any other questions or suggestions or things you want to know more about, please use the chat.
Yes.
And I could see that the user Prince ID actually has a cousin that know a couple of horses, so maybe we could look into that.
Yeah, please email me about that, and we can arrange something. That would be fun. It would be fun to be able to credit the horses. That would be really cool, and to actually have different horses for each sound. Yeah, this is really fun. But yeah, as you can see, also next to us here is the newest art. 3 of them you have seen in the latest update, but the rest is new for you. Of course, I'm not going to tell you anything of what happens in them, because that would be spoiling the game. But I don't think these spoil too much, because it's background images. So yeah, this is the level of artwork that I'm dealing with right now. I have a full list, and I'm kind of checking off the list right now. So it's going to go into full mode right now.
How is it working with background art compared to when you draw your usual manga?
Wow, different, totally different. I mean, I had to watch a lot of videos in the beginning, so that was when we did the demo version. But I think at this point I kind of have set a style. It's not realistic. It's more like anime-esque, but not really. It's like its own style, and I try to get that as well. So it's I think I've managed to find a style that is unique for this game, and I'm kind of just trying to keep that style all through. But it's really fun. I mean, I'm learning a bunch on doing this project, because I have never done so much backgrounds, and I've really set a high bar for myself. So there's a lot of backgrounds to be made. And of course, for you backers, that means you will have so much luscious, beautiful art to watch. So yeah, it's the game. I really hope you will be playing it through many times to find every like little detail that I've added in there. And yeah, a lot of you backers will be in the game, so I bet you will be playing it through to find yourself as well. Yeah, so that's what
a lot of background barrels I heard as well.
Yeah, some of the things are repeating itself, so you can find like the barrels are repeating itself. Some stools, like some chairs. I've added some here and there, and some houses keep reappearing here and there. So maybe you will find some of these Easter eggs. I'm trying to adding some of them. Yeah. So yeah, Joachim, what have you been doing?
Well, I've been, as I said in the beginning, I was checking some of the audio quality from some of the backers and some of the people we are going to work with. It's really, really awesome that this game is. We actually got so far by your support to make this fully voiced. So it's really, really, really awesome. And
thank you.
Yeah, thank you a lot. I mean, it really makes it will make the game more immersive and feeling alive. So it's a really huge thing. Thank you so much. So I was working a lot with the the audio quality and making sure that the audio quality matches. So I mean that's the thing when you work with a lot of different people with a lot of different setups and gear. So you need to make sure that the audio quality stays somewhat the same, so it doesn't stand out too much when you listen to the game later.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of you are still about some of you of the backers actually have a voiced part, make sure to have a lot of cloth in your room.
Yeah, we were a little bit worried about this, because giving away some of the voiced parts to people who might not have proper studio equipment or proper studio surrounding, that is a little bit of a risk. But have you so far felt that the backers have done a good job?
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's really I thought it would be much more of a challenge, but we got some audio samples from the backers, and I told them, okay, you need to readjust this and maybe put some more echo absorbing material around you, and they were gracious enough to do that, and the audio quality turned out pretty okay, I would say. So it shouldn't be that much of a difference between the backers and the more like the professional side of the voice acting.
Yeah.
So please continue to send us your beautiful voices, and I will put them in the game.
I am so glad to have you on, Joachim, because I wouldn't trust myself with sound kind of quality checking. So I'm really happy to have your expertise on, because it feels like you're probably better with seeing like in a mixer, seeing like, okay, this one really needs to change the noise here, or like it's too much of this sound, or it's too hard or too soft or something like that. I'm so glad to have your expertise on that, because I would never be able to do it.
It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have like this really studio-esque setup. It's fine with a regular microphone, no problem. I mean, look at my microphone today. It's fine. The thing is, as some messages in chat also says that it's a lot of blankets and pillows, and
nice.
There is so much with physical stuff you can actually change the acoustics of the sound. So it's gonna turn out fine, I think.
The good thing is that several of the backers that decided to voice their own characters are actually voice actors themselves. That's pretty cool. So I know that at least 2 of them have voice acting experience, and that also made me a lot more happy with the decision to include you backers in the project, because it feels like we're making this together. We're kind of creating this game together, and that's really fun, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
What
So
else
that's
have you been doing?
mostly that's what I've mostly been doing, and I have also been touching up some of the the code a little bit. Marcus will tell you more about the code part later, of course, but I've been helping him out a little bit, and checking out some grammatical errors. Maybe sometime you write things and you need another pair of eyes. Yeah, so mostly tit and tat and paper pushing.
And also, I mean, the good thing is that you're kind of saving your energy a little bit, because in a month or 2 or 3 there will be a lot of work with all the voice acting dropping in, all the files dropping in, music's being added. So I mean, your work will be more later in the spring, I guess.
I think so. I mean, we've been mostly using royalty-free sounds, and really talented Kevin MacLeod.
Yes.
Yeah, very talented guy, and we're ever so grateful that we are able to use this royalty-free. I will drop
Kevin a donation as soon as we start earning money on this game, because he respects, he deserves all the respect in the world for what he does. Kevin MacLeod, I recommend him. Yeah.
Great guy. Thank you so much. Yes. So yeah, that's I've been roaming around his homepage looking for the perfect background music for each scene and so on. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. I think it's really fun to set the atmosphere of a certain situation. So that's what I've been talking with you a lot. What kind of atmosphere do you want here in the scene? Yeah.
They say that audio is 60% of the experience. So it's getting the right ambient noise in the background and the right music soundtrack and the right voice actor that enhances the experience of the game a lot. So it's good that we have someone who can do a focused job and do it really well.
Yeah. Marcus, tell us about the program. Oh, did you have more, Joachim?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on a chat message from Prince ID that that writes that isn't more about the resonance and the acoustics that shape the sound. Of course, I mean, it's a lot about, the resonance and the acoustics and the shape of the room and so on. So you really want to, take away the like the echo and so on to make sure that the sound stays as clear as possible.
No windows. Don't sit close to a window. That's
because that
yeah.
works like a resonance box, and
yes.
Yeah, please stay away from that. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Marcus, let us know about the coding.
Okay, so there's some things when you're developing any type of game, but especially visual novels, there's some things that can be done in parallel, like character graphics and user interface. There's no direct link between the two, so they can be done at any time during the project. But there are other things that have to be done one after the other. So in this beginning phase of the project, we have mainly been focusing on completing as many tasks as possible that needs to be done so that other tasks can start, so that we don't create any bottlenecks or stoppers throughout the project. So that's why we have mainly been focusing on getting the script ready early and translating that into code, because when we have that, then we can send it over to the translators, and then we can send it over to the voice actor. So the majority of the work during winter and autumn have been making sure that the groundwork and the base architecture of the game is in place, so that we have the structure of each chapter, all of the voices that have an impact on the outcome of the game, and making sure that all of that is in place. Once that's in place, then we can start making sure that the buttons look nice and the right
so technically
character isn't. Yeah.
So technically there is a game. It's just empty right now.
Yeah.
But there is a game actually.
Yes. So there is a lot of placeholder graphics and no graphical interface at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe at some point we release a screenshot of what the earliest build of the demo looked like with just my stick figures.
Yes, that would
so
be
that kind of that gives you an idea of
Perfect.
you build it kind of like in layers. So you build the base layer first, and then you just add quality on top of it.
Yes.
At the end, you can start adding like lens flares and shiny things.
We will add screenshots from your first stick figure build in the making of book. We will do a making of art book that we promised all the backers for as a PDF, or some of you actually bought it as an actual art book that I'm gonna print. So there will be some of them in there, so you can see as well. Yes.
It's
A+.
Amazing stick figures.
Yes. But I mean, they were really good because they had facials. Like you worked with the facial expressions, and I kind of used it for as a base for my artwork later. It was really helpful for me, I think.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, we made Prince idea comments that we made 117K for a stick figure game.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe you don't need me. Maybe you can make a game on your own.
Yeah, we can release it. We release it as it is now.
Yeah.
It's finished. Let's
Come
go.
on, it's gonna be fine.
That's good. Good idea. I mean, why should I be working? No, I'm just kidding. No, we really,
also,
we promised art that was made by me, so we're gonna do that. But I definitely think we should have, we should consider, like, I don't know, showing those stick figures, like promoting them a little bit. Like, I don't know. We'll talk about that.
They will show up at some point.
Yes, you will be able to see them.
Yeah.
And another comment from the chat while we're talking on this topic, like it's from the user Kålrotskompott. Maybe it's Kålrotskompott if it's in Swedish. Please show the early build.
Oh,
I mean, how much does the early build differ from the demo?
So the earliest build was the one with the stick figures, but yeah, we can let's do a deal. In the next live stream later in the spring, or in the middle of the spring somewhere, we can definitely make sure that you backers will be sneak peeking some shots from your pretty stick figures that will be shown in the next stream. Yes. But let us know what else, Marcus. Have you done? Is it anything else you would like to add?
I mean, no. I mean, I think that sums up most of it. It's been like making sure that all of the chapters are structured correctly, and all of the menus and all of the player choices play out correctly, so that if you do A and B and C, then further down, then it happens. So there's a lot of like tracing lines through flowcharts and making sure that everything works correctly.
Yeah, and I write those in the script already. So in the script, I write this go to A and this go to B, and it's so nice to have your input. And you're like, wait, this one goes to the wrong chapter. I'm like, what? Yes, I was yeah. So and also we've had 2 backers that is on the executive producer level, the master magician level, and they have been so much help as well. So these 2 backers have been checking the scripts, adding things, both checking like grammar, but also all these mistakes I do with the actual structure, the flowchart structure, but also a lot of great input on like, would this character actually say this, or could you add something to this scene because it feels like it's lacking. So I mean, I'm so grateful for the executive producer backers. You 2 have been such a help for us. So that has been helping us a lot with, especially the whole checking the script part. That's been really good. So I recommend, actually, I was a little bit afraid that it would be time consuming for us to deal with extra feedback, but in the end I would say any other game developer out there that is thinking of doing a game, actually giving that feedback position to a backer is so much help. So I would recommend that. You've been so much help, you 2. You know who you are. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we have now we're gonna release the information about the voice acting studio. So so yeah, this studio, we went for a safe bet because you 2 have already been working with them. It's One Up Casting, and they actually helped you with, or did the work with Celestial Crossing, right?
Yes, they did.
So let me know, like, tell me a little bit about why did you like working with them? Because I've had contact with them so far. So One Up Casting, they are a studio in Texas, in America, in USA, and they are a casting studio with connections to. They have like a pool of voice actors, and that means they do like a casting call to all their voice actors, and several people can audition for different roles. And right now they are actually in that process. So we hope to, maybe next week, maybe the week after that, to be able to actually get audition tapes from these actors. So some of the roles, the bigger ones, will be like auditioned for. The smaller ones, I think we will kind of trust them and let them audition it for us. I'm not sure how we will do it, but let me know. Like, tell me a little bit about how you worked with them with the Celestial Crossing game.
Yeah. So, like I said, back in the day, visual novel Twitter wasn't really that big, so we just kind of found each other. I don't remember who reached out to who, but this was way back. And we were just like, this was just like, we were just talking as friends. We didn't really think about like doing a collaboration together. And then later on, when I posted that, like, oh, I'm working on this new title, they were like, oh, wait, I'm a voice actor, work together. And that's kind of how that started. And then, yeah, I said basically, like, I don't know anything about voice acting, just handle this for me. And they did a great job, and they found a lot of like great talented people to do all the different voices. And we have like had contact with them ever since. The on hold project that we will be continuing after this one. They have kind of been involved in that one too, a little bit. But yeah, and since we kind of became internet friends, they've kind of blown up and become quite big. Like I don't want to like name drop anyone without their consent, but they have been working on some really cool projects, and we might tell you more about that in the future.
Actually, they have one game they released on their website that I think is alright to name drop. Is they're gonna do the voices for the horror game Visage, I think it was. I'm gonna double check their website. So it's a really cool, Visage, a really cool voice or horror game that they have a trailer on their website. So go to and dash upcasting.com and you find more about what they do. So
really talented people.
Really talented people, and I mean the good thing for us as well, why we really like working with a studio, is that a lot of that kind of finding the right person for the right job and knowing that they have the equipment, knowing that they're gonna deliver, that they are the cool people that know that we can communicate with and that doesn't just ghost us in the end. I mean, all that they are dealing with. So we get a final product from them, which is all the voice files, and we need that for our game. So I really feel that's a secure way to work.
And a lot of them, like, they're not just hobbyists. Like, a lot of them, like, work Funimation also and other, like, big studios. So they have experience in, like, working in professional project and doing a great job, and they have access to great audio equipment and everything. So it's a really, I'm super grateful for knowing them and getting to work with.
Yes. So we're gonna hopefully in the next live stream a month or two from now, we will be able to name drop hopefully some of the voice actors for the characters, and that's gonna be really fun to actually like let you hear the characters. You can well, they're probably gonna make their own version, but you can at least check out the previous works of each of the voice actors. Hopefully we can do that in the next stream.
I'm really looking forward to all the sound materials, both from One Up Casting and from the backers, to put them into the game and make sure when you make a test run of the game and you actually hear the characters speak.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes. It's gonna be really cool to see. It's gonna feel like I've had anime, like Japanese anime, as a kind of inspirational point, because that's why the characters are a little bit cel shady and the backgrounds are more like colorful paintings, and that's why I really look forward to hearing them speak, because I will even get closer to an anime. And as we've promised, I'm gonna make the intro animated. So yeah, it's gonna feel almost like a movie, I hope, like a still movie or something, like still pictures, but it feels animated, I hope. So yeah, that was like, we talked about what we've been doing. We gave you the information about One Up Casting, which is the studio we're working on. Do we have any questions, Joachim, from the chat?
Well, I would also remind the chat that please use this opportunity. Be very well. All your questions are welcome. We have one question from. I'm just gonna make the call and say it's kålrotskompott in Swedish, in the Swedish tongue. Will the stream be archived? I had a connection error and missed a few minutes. Will it?
Well, this was mostly for backers, so I think we could, if you backers are okay with it, because pretty much you paid for this live stream. So if you're okay with us releasing it, we can of course upload it, and like right now it's unlisted and I can just make it public. But that's pretty much up to you. If you feel like, no, this was our thing, you cannot show it to anyone else. But as you can see, there's a lot of backers who have probably not even seen the link yet. So I think it might be better we actually upload it later. But I'm gonna, yeah. So like the backer only thing was that you could actually join it and write in the chat, because that can't be done later on when we upload it.
But you can have an unlisted video, like a VOD of the live stream later also, right? So we can send that link to the backers as well.
Of course, they can always see this, even though they are even though it's it's just gonna be a playback of the stream.
Yeah.
But if you would like it to be public, I can ask like if you in the stream would like it, or if I should show it to, or I can ask the backers in a future update. So you can actually show it to your friends. But I think this is mostly for you backers. I mean, the rest of the world will see the game when it's done, pretty much. We will release information for them later on. Yeah,
we have some consents in the chat actually. Prince ID is okay with it, and Team Jake 78 is also okay with it. So I mean,
but to the person who missed a couple of minutes in the middle, you will still be able to go back and see the live stream later, even though it's unlisted.
Yes.
So that still solves your problem.
Yeah, as long as you follow this link, and I mean the link can be viewed by anyone who has the link. So if you spread it, it's gonna be public, but it's not gonna be listed and shown publicly on my channel where we're streaming this. So it's not gonna be among my videos, and maybe we can keep it that way. So you backers can always go back and rewatch this with this link, but don't share the link because then it's not backers only. So I think we'll keep it unlisted, but only for you. Yeah, you will always be able to go back and see it. Yes.
Prince ID is telling us it's going to be awesome to see the animated intro. Yay for animated intro! How are you? Have you done an animated intro before, Natalia?
No, but I have been animating for my other manga, Meow, which is like a very sweet kitten manga, very harmless and cute kids manga. I started doing some animation for that one for the first chapter. I wanted to make each chapter as a small episode of 5 minutes, and so far I've made about, I think it's 30 or 60 seconds. So I know I can animate, but I am actually very eager to do a lot of research on this and like really go into like more actiony animation, like more movement and stuff like that. I know I can do it, it just takes time. But good thing is that, I mean, there's so many good programs, and what I'm using is a program called Clip Studio Paint when I do these pictures, and Clip Studio Paint actually have a setting for animation, so I can do all that work in Clip Studio Paint. So that means I don't have to learn new program. It's gonna be really fun to do, actually. I'm really looking forward to it. And also I'm looking forward to doing the 3D figurine of Amaltea. So I've already ordered the 3D printer. It's on its way. It takes some time because they special make it. That's why it takes some time. But it's coming here, and I'm looking forward to getting like knee deep into Blender and learning everything about sculpting. So that you will see more about that in future updates as well. Yes.
That sounds really, really exciting, actually. 3D printing is so cool. Yes. All right. Apparently, I got one out of two names correctly. Kålrotskompott. But I should also say that sorry, it's not Prince ID. It's actually Prince Sid. I wanted to correct. Yeah. Sorry about that, Prince Sid. We have some more questions. Kålrotskompott actually asks, how was the development been going? Anything that has gone better than expected, or any speed bumps that you didn't expect?
Well, I think just to start off, the fact that our translation studio dropped us or like didn't reply, that was sad, because I was really looking forward to having different languages of the game. We'll see what we can do about that, and hopefully we can kind of, I don't know, find some way in the future or near future that can solve this. But yeah, the languages, that was an issue. But I think what has been going so much better, I think, is especially all the work with you backers. I mean, you've been so much helpful with replying to surveys, and like all that has been less stressful because you've been doing it in time and just replying to my questions. That has been helpful, I think, for me. What about you?
On the same note about the translation, the guy who came in and saved us and fixed the Spanish translation has been extremely quick with his work. We did not expect him to be done this quickly, and not only was he done, he was able to find a few spelling mistakes, even though I don't know how many people have proofread it at this point. So that was, I was extremely impressed with him. We had kind of planned for him maybe being finished by like the end of March, but he just nailed it in a weekend.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's been really nice because that's one thing that would be bad to have the final week when we have everything else to fix. So that's really nice to have it like cleared from the table, like
For me, I mean, I was, as I said earlier in the stream, a lot of you have been, saying that, oh, we missed some things early in the stream. But as we talked earlier, like most of the stream will be available for watching later. But for me, I was a little bit nervous about the the sound quality of the backers, actually, to be quite honest. But it went better than I expected, actually. And the backers who have sent in their voice, the audio files to me, have been very, very, gracious about, me giving, feedback about the audio quality, and been very helpful and making sure to implement the changes that I request. So a big thank you to you, and I'm looking forward to hear more of your beautiful voices.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that we have we will have you backers in the game. That's gonna be a really cool memory of the whole process of including you in the process of making the game, and like remembering that this was a Kickstarter funded project. This was made by you. You helped us make this, and that's really, I mean, that's dear to me. That feels like very special for me. That this was not just us like alone doing it. It was in the beginning, but like when we decided to make a Kickstarter, like we were hoping for like maybe we get $2,000. I don't know. And we're like, whoa, and a lot of people liked it. And I'm really happy that so many of you decided to join. I was like, maybe we get like 50 people joining, and then 170, I don't know. So many people. And we're really happy for that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We have some more questions, but if Marcus wanted to say anything, or anyone else, about any unexpected positives or negatives, otherwise we will move on. But while we're still on the topic,
no, I think the big thing was the translator.
Yeah. All right. Moving on with the questions then. Prince Sid, if I play through the game and just play through it normally, will it be 5 to 10 or 10 to 20 hours? I would be okay with 50 hours too, but I guess replaying the game many times will be the fun reward.
I mean, it's really hard to say, because it kind of depends what path you take. I think some paths you could actually, I mean, there's some paths that end, I don't want to spoil you. I mean, I'm trying not to say things that might spoil the game, but there is paths that might end the game very quickly, depending if you do a really bad choice. So I mean, it's up to you. I think we
feel the pressure.
Yeah, I think if you replay if you try to play all the paths, you will end up with somewhere between 25 and 30 hours. But that means you have to replay some parts. But then also we have, like, this is no secret, but like you saw in the demo version, there's gonna be a big part in the game where you actually split up between Amaltea and Ocean, and that means the whole game is affected by not only what you do, but the choices the other character do. and how those choices are made, you're gonna have to find out by yourself. But yeah, it's so the game, you will have to replay it because you will practically be missing out on half of the story if you don't replay it. So that's pretty much what I can say. I don't want to spoil more, but yeah, that's pretty much what I can say.
And there's a lot of different branches, and according to a lot of choices you make. Some choices are bigger and some are more mundane, but it actually affects more than you think, the branching story. And as Marcus said earlier, we have been sitting down and checking so all the variables are correct and leads to the correct paths. And that has been that's a lot of work from a coding point of view, but it's also, I imagine, a lot of work from a script writing point of view.
Oh yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah. So there will be, if you want to see all the content, I mean, you really have to do, reruns of the entire game. I mean, that's how a lot of these, visual novels work this way. You have branching stories and you have different routes, and so to answer the question is like, as Natalia already said, that you need to replay the game.
And I mean, what we can say is how many words it is and how many pages. I think it ended up somewhere around all the chapters, because it's a total of 11 chapters, and some chapters are short, some chapters are really, really long, but I think it's somewhere around 160 or 170 pages. So it's pretty much a book. That's how long the whole script is. So yeah, I think you have a lot of fun things to find and characters to find. Like, some of you will have, like I said, your own characters in there, but also some characters. Actually, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's gonna be characters that if you have knowledge of you don't have to have it, but if you have knowledge of the world and the previous books about Amaltea, both the manga but also the role-playing book that I made in Sweden, if you have the chance to, if you have read them, you will notice there are some overlapping things happening that's gonna be, I've used a lot of things from the whole world in this. You don't have to have read them, it's pretty much self-explanatory in the game, but it's gonna be fun reunions for some of you that has read the manga as well, I think.
I mean, it's your manga is really fun to read. So I mean, it's I mean, it's not, as you say, it's not necessary, but I can recommend it.
Yeah. Do we have more questions?
Well, Prince Sid has been, talking about that Undertale was a Kickstarter from the beginning, and now it's become a huge thing. So hopefully, maybe this could also be a big thing.
And I mean,
it's already a big thing, thanks to all the backing, but
yeah, and for visual novels, I mean, visual novels are, a lot of them are kickstarted, and if you compare to other visual novels, we're kind of in the middle when it comes to interest in the Kickstarter campaign. So I think we will have this Kickstarter campaign, thanks to you backers, we will have kind of a wave, we can ride this wave quite far, I think. So I think the game can be, we can get it out there, and that's really thanks to you. So that's really nice. I have actually already done one Swedish interview about this in Swedish newspaper, and I'm gonna do another one for a local radio program this coming week. So it's kind of getting some notification or notoriety here in Sweden. Yeah.
Interesting. Listen to that local radio as well.
Yeah. I can share the link as well. I'm gonna share the link when it's up.
So yeah, looking forward to that. Maybe we also will see some speedrunning videos on YouTube, speedrunning through the entire visual novel in 1 hour, as Prince Sid comments.
Oh wow, yeah. Please do.
Speedrunning is a thing.
And
Speedrunning is a thing.
Yeah, and if you want to you can, like, in the settings, you can turn off the voices, and maybe you would like to do the voices instead. So yeah, please go ahead.
If you speedrun, talk really, really quick.
Yeah, that's you have to speed it up as well. Yes, that would be best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, from the chat, I mean, one final reminder that if you have any questions, do ask them now.
Yeah, we're actually up to 55 minutes now, so I think we can pretty much say thank you everybody for joining. It's getting late here. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So if you have any more questions, then you should probably email us instead,
Yes.
or contact us on social media.
Yes.
Or save them for the next live stream.
Yeah. Probably several of them will be answered in the next live stream when it comes to voice actors, or when it comes to like more artwork or anything. So yeah, we'll be returning to this subject. I promise you.
All right.
Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll talk to you guys soon. So stay tuned for more info, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quick question. Was that what storefronts will the game be released on? It's
Marcus.
mostly Steam, right?
Yeah, Marcus, you can answer this.
Yeah, so we are mainly going to push it through Steam, just because that's the easiest way to distribute games right now. Though we are aware that one has, so we're looking at other Itch.io is high on our list. Probably put it there as well. That's where we find the demo today.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly we will be using Steam, since it's easy. Patches and upgrades through there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very manageable.
And this is pretty much a thing that we're gonna take care of later in the spring when we're getting closer to a final product. So you'll hear more about this in the next live stream or the final live stream, definitely. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, sure. So thanks to everyone in chat for your questions and your support and your comments. Really, thank you for your participation in this project as well. Thank you.
Yes. Have a good night,
Yes,
everybody.
thanks,
or
everyone.
Good day. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye,
whatever time it is for you.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay.